Last night, s1mple made a very interesting tweet where he accuses another pro player of using radar hack, and you can see this string of tweets right here where he says basically everyone who wants to win Dust 2 to just let s1mple do his thing, but to make sure to have a good headset so that way that you can hear the flank from T-spawn if Forrester decides to push. And here's the thing, he actually elaborated on this a little bit farther, that he said that this entire event that he played back in 2020 was so suspicious that he is accusing the other teams of using radar hack that were playing against him. So we're going to do a deep dive into what s1mple is talking about, and we're going to analyze this specific demo in CSGO right after a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by s1mple. s1mple is a site where you can trade skins that you already have to get some skins that you might want. That way you can hop into your next game with some fresh new skins. All you have to do is log into the site through Steam, put in the skins that you don't want anymore, grab the skins that you do, and then click trade. Trades happen almost immediately, and any balance that you don't use in the trade will roll over for a trade that you might do in the future. Right now you can get a free $5 if you were to use code Austin on the site, and if you were to use my code, you would get an additional 5% on top of the 30% deposit bonus. So let's say if you deposit $100, that means you would get $135 if you use my code to deposit. So make sure you guys check out s1mple, and let's get right back into the video. So I did quite a bit of research after s1mple made this tweet last night, and it would appear as if the game that s1mple is referencing is a game that he played in 2020 in the RMR versus a team named Hard Legion. Now in this game, you can see that they did play Dust 2, which would check out with what he was talking about. And in the game, it would appear as if Forrester would have been the reason that they beat Na'Vi. So if we look at this Dust 2 game, you'll see that he drops a 32 and 21 performance with a 1.4 rating, which by itself isn't that crazy, but you have to remember at the time, this was before Forrester was playing on s1mple and making majors. So this was a very suspicious performance to beat Na'Vi at this event. And now that I think about it, this was around the time that the coach bug was really bad. This was right before the bans happened in August of 2020. For those of you guys who don't know what the coach bug is, funnily enough, I have an example here of exactly what it is. So in this clip, you can see the actual coach of Hard Legion, which is the team that we're talking about, using a bug, which is when the coach would sometimes spawn in a spot that would give info. So here's the coach's POV from a game. He spawns top mid on Mirage, and he can look around and see where people are and give that info to his team. Now this was happening quite a bit, and a lot of coaches got punished. But more specifically, the Hard Legion coach himself actually got punished way more than a lot of other people. Here's an HLTV article from the day that the bans were announced, where he was basically outed and self-admittedly cheating in a lot of the games. But there is even more, because in a document that was published by, I think, ESIC, they showed every single time a coach used the bug, and our biggest defender here is Zoner, who was the coach of Hard Legion, and every single game that he used the bug is listed here. And what do we see? A game versus Na'Vi on Dust 2, where it says he used the bug 35 out of 35 rounds. I will link all of this stuff for you to check out below. And yeah, so this is pretty crazy that s1mple is going to bring this up later on down the road. But enough of all of the evidence. Let's jump right into this game that they played on Dust 2. So let's jump right into this Dust 2 demo and see how obvious it was that Na'Vi was getting cheated against. And yeah, let's go over to CSGO. So here we are, we've loaded up this Dust 2 demo in CSGO. Of course, you can still do this by downloading CSGO from the beta branch. If you don't know how to do that, I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell you. Yes, so let's have a look here. It's weird to be back in this game, isn't it? But let's go ahead and look at Forrester, because that is the person that s1mple is accusing, of course, of cheating. And he's talking about Forrester pushing tunnels every single round. So with that being said, I guess we'll just get Forrester POV open here, and we'll switch to their CT side. There is one more thing that I think is very important to note, which is you can actually spectate the coach in demos. So if I were to type in the command, I think it's spec player by name, and then we type in Mechano Gun. I think that's the guy's name. Yes. So here's the CT coach right now. He's in T-spawn. We can see this clear as day. That is where he is. And remember, the document said that he used this 35 out of 35 rounds, which means that this is quite literally his POV. So with that in mind, we know that he can see T-spawn. It's just obvious. That's what's going on. The evidence was there. He received a ban. This is not an accusation from me. This is just facts. So with that in mind, we know that he has info on T-spawn. So we'll watch this with the rest of the game from Forrester with that in mind. So we're going to skip pistol. because I don't really think that there's anything to talk about in pistol round typically. I'm going to keep in mind how many players are going tunnels and see how Forrester reacts based off of that info every single round. So he sees 2 people coming this round. Of course, he gets that info, probably, presumably from his coach, you know, the bug, and he's going to molly and he's going to play kind of aggressive. Not really a lot to analyze here because, I mean, he understands that it's probably not going to be a B pop yet. That's the rest of the round. They lose because they go A. And let's look for more egregious examples here. So again, we see 2 people coming in towards tunnels here yet again. Forrester, not much to see here, but it is important to note that I want you to keep this in mind, that he is not going to push tunnels at all until there's nobody there. Yes, that is right. I've already watched this demo twice now to look for the best examples of this supposed coach bug abuse, and we've got some examples, let me tell you. So here's a round where in T-spawn we can see that Boomage is a little bit late, and they would have that info, so of course Forrester just knifes out through tunnels. Very interesting decision from him, especially considering this is an eco. Now again, this is 4 years ago. This video is not made to point a finger at Forrester and all of the other players on Hard Legion. I'm just looking at the evidence based off of s1mple's tweet, okay? Now, I would like to say again that this is crazy considering the fact that if Forrester dies, his teammates are over here. This is an eco. I understand they don't have a lot invested in the round, but they do have a saved AK on Crad. They do have a bunch of other things that they could win the round with. It is far too risky for a solo push that could just simply give up the round. My point being, it doesn't seem likely that he would do this normally, but because he has potential outside info, that Boomage is holding from out spawn instead of in tunnels, that's why he's going to do this. But it gets a little bit worse than that. So let's continue watching on here. He's going to wait, and the actual second that Boomage runs away, where does he go? Forrester's going to push tunnels. Now, again, one example by itself is not damning. It is not enough for me to just simply say, yes, this is clearly an example of the coach bug. Although we do know that that is definitely what's happening, given the ban, of course, with their coach. Let's go ahead and keep going. Let's keep going. There's a round in here that I think pretty much it confirms everything. So what do we see again? Coach sees 2 people going towards tunnels, the rest of the people going towards A, and Forrester's going to start with the molly, do the same thing. This is a repeat round. I will skip. Same round, same protocols from him. Okay, next round. It's an eco again. Remember, last eco, he just sent it into tunnels. This time, no, even though it's the same situation, 1-4, like no rotates coming, this time Forrester doesn't go anywhere. Why? Because Boomage was there. But important to note, Boomage leaves and here he goes. He goes pushing tunnels again. You will see that Forrester did not push tunnels for this entire demo. We're going to watch all CT side unless there was nobody there. Now this one is a little bit like whatever because obviously like, you know, he could have just pushed tunnels. The round's already over. So we won't overanalyze that. Next round. There's a round in here, round 24, so make sure you stay tuned. Round 24 is the round that I think proves it without a shadow of a doubt that there was some external assistance going on. So we've got 1 player coming in towards tunnels. Forrester's going to drop the molly, and he's going to play this angle. Wow, he's really just doing the same thing. 2020 was a very boring year for CS. And the cat exec's going to come in. He's not going to push tunnels. Again, important to note, because their coach is not giving T-spawn info, so he can't push tunnels. They don't know where the player went towards cat, and that's what's going on. So they're going to rotate, the A hit comes in, and then that's pretty much the round. Okay, fantastic. On to the next. The round 24, I'm telling you, you guys are going to love this one. Here's another round. Saved AK for Forrester. They get the info. They go for a cheeky boost. Forrester doesn't even play B. The rest of the squad just kind of folds. Okay, round 24. This is the round, without a shadow of a doubt, that there was some weird stuff going on. What happens is, if we go again to Coach POV. Coach POV. Coach is going to see that all of the players are going to go long here. So this is again the CT coach. Watch this. He sees all 5 players go long. Nothing abnormal there, right? Well, let's rewind the round and watch this round from whoever's perspective. I think it was Kinky's perspective. So remember, once the coach sees all 5 players go long, Forrester's our B player. Watch this. You'll see. Ready? This is my favorite part, right? Ready? Running. Coach says, all 5 long, turns around. He goes around. He turns around. He was crossing. But of course, as soon as the coach says that there's nobody there, he runs. And even better, Forrester's running through tunnels. He didn't even molly. He's just full sending it. This has got to be the most outrageous example of external assistance in a pro match I've ever seen in my life. ever in my life. From the player literally turning around out of spawn. Let me show you this one more time. The player literally runs out of spawn, decides nah, and Forrester is going to run across, no molly. He's been mollying every round, no molly, on a gun round, full buy versus buy. He's full pushing tons. Why? This is outrageous. This is outrageous. But what's even more outrageous is that s1mple is tweeting about this 4 years later. Why didn't we tweet about this when this was going on? Why is this a tweet that's coming out now? Look, I mean, obviously what s1mple is saying has some merit. You see, this is outrageous. This is actually outrageous that nobody has talked about this. Of course, this is just the result of the coach bug. I don't know what we do from here, but it's insane to me. It's actually just insane to me. We'll keep watching though, because it gets a little bit more dank than that. Another round, he doesn't push tunnels, but there's 2 there. We go again. Let's see another round here. Let's see. So this is the round that s1mple's coming with the op for a pick. Important to note, again, Coach POV says this time 3 people are coming tunnels, including s1mple, their opper. s1mple's coming for a B pick. It's obvious. Opper never goes tunnels unless he's going for a B pick. So, of course, Forrester starts with a smoke. Wait, what? He starts with a smoke? He's never done that, but he's always started with the molly, even when he was by himself. But because s1mple's coming this round, he starts with a smoke? If I was s1mple personally, I would be really upset about this too. Like, this is insane. Like, this is actually just insane. Like, you literally started with a molly every round. This is prime going for pick potential, and then the one round that s1mple goes, coach gets the info, sees s1mple running, calls for smoke. Okay, let's go on to the next round. So there's another round that's pretty bad in here. So one person, he's playing passive outside tunnels. Again, they're doing these ridiculous 1-4 starts where they have one person B. I don't know why they're doing this. This wasn't really in the meta from what I remember. It's just a very odd thing for them to be doing in the majority of rounds. But fair enough. But again, Coach POV, let's switch over to Coach POV. He just saw the bomb is going over towards A. So naturally, that's why Forrester is leaving B. Wait, hold on. So these gamble stacks, every single gamble stack that they're making is correct. We just went from feeling a lot of mid to B pressure to the coach saying bomb's going A to everybody leaving B. For what, like, I don't understand how this isn't like clean. Like it could never be perceived as a legit match. It just can't. It can't be. Like every single. By the way, remember this is an underdog team. Every single read is correct, and their coach is confirmed ban. Okay, we get it, Austin. They cheated. But I still like looking at examples because I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that this kind of stuff was going on, and we just like what we just knew. Here's one that I really like as well. So 4 people coming B. That looks like it could be a B rush. So naturally, the second B player commits B first time. At least in a couple of rounds. First time that happens. And this time, because 4 people are coming, we start with a molly. But even better, Forrester playing anti-rush. This is the first time ever that he will smoke after the molly, but not even after, on top of the molly, because they're expecting a B-pop. They're expecting a B-pop. Remember, the util usage at face value is whatever, but you have to see this from my perspective. Forrester is throwing the exact correct utility depending on however many players are in tunnels. It's perfect. There is not a single time where something is going on in tunnels that Forrester doesn't have the right answer for. Pushes when nobody's there. Molly's on a rush. Smokes after. Smokes instead of mollying. Smokes instead when s1mple's coming for an up pick. How is it possible? Like, it's not possible. Obviously, it's cheats. It's actually just crazy, though. So, with all that being said, we're going to watch. The comeback is going to come in. This round is also kind of weird. We can watch it back. It's just a weird long fight. We just did a demo review yesterday on my channel talking about Dust 2, and I was talking about how CSGO played. This one was kind of weird. I don't think this round is like suspicious, but I do think it's odd that we have so many players like kind of committed to. I don't know. This could just be like 4 years ago Dust 2 meta, so it's a little silly looking. But there's literally 8 players out long and nobody's dying. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this ever. I mean, this is not suspicious. But, you know, what is suspicious, though, is the fact that Forrester's not pushing when before, when there was long pressure, he was insta-going when there was nobody here. But now, since Perfecto's lurking, we're not worried. Yikes. On to the next. Let's see here. We get a little pause. They get the overtime secured. Fantastic. Navi, they win the first, or no, they lose the first round. I'm trying to find the round. I don't think it was that round. There's a round where somebody just literally runs through long right away. Oh, yes, it's this round. So there is clearly nobody going towards long. So we get this info right away that we can play aggressive long. And we also know that nobody came tunnels, right? So like they had one person come tunnels, one person outside of A. So coach POV, let's remind you of what coach can see. Coach can see that pretty much one person went long, one person went tons, probably going to be something cat. So they have the nerve to have their opper solo B from this angle. By the way, like literally solo, like they're going to full gamble into A here. Solo B with this angle. Like I don't even know if s1mple in his prime, like maybe I favor him here, but this is outrageous. You understand? This is outrageous. This round is actually insane. From s1mple's POV, this is like I would tweet 4 years later too if this was my POV. Watch. He literally starts the round, does everything right. Nobody peeks him. And then somehow when they go A, there's literally 4 people in the best stack ever. And like, look at this. Look at this. There's 3 people on A site. Look at s1mple. He's literally blind, getting spammed through smoke, blind. Like, dude, I'd be upset too. I'd be upset too. Watch him. Ah, yeah, that's the, I'm gonna tweet about this 4 years later, mouse tilt right there. That's what that is, dude. Oh man. Okay, this game's almost over. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit more. So Forrester again, sees nobody's coming tunnels. Again, delayed tunnels. He's literally started with a molly every single round except for when people are coming tunnels or not coming. He doesn't molly, saves his util, which is just, it's insane to me. They see one guy coming late. They see a rotate coming in. Again, look at this. Somebody's coming in late. He drops the smoke. Weird. I'm not saying that it's abnormal, but when you do know the context of everything that's happened, including the ban of the coach, it's hard to not look at everything and say that that's suspicious. Now, I'm not normally somebody to just hard accusate people, but I mean, look at this. Like this might be the most egregious example of cheats I've ever seen. Okay, so coach POV, he's still in spawn. No more cheats for the T side, and Hard Legion's going to win this one out. Pretty much clear. They're just going to win. So yeah, with all of that being said, that's interesting. I would just want to know your thoughts on this. What do we think about s1mple's tweet? And more importantly, do we think that this matters? Obviously, the coaches were punished already. They've already served their bans, but I don't know. I don't know what you guys, what your guys' opinions are. Now, I'm not making this video to simply go after any of the players. Like, obviously, anybody on Hard Legion, like, I'm not going after them. Just, again, bringing up s1mple's tweet, kind of talking about how, you know, he mentioned this way later down the road. He must be holding a grudge. And to be honest, I would too. And it's interesting to go back to CSGO to see this. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. That's the drama of the day. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys sub to the channel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and that's going to be it for me. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Much love as always, and peace. And seriously, guys, don't be weird to these players just because I made a video on it. Like, s1mple made the tweet. I'm just analyzing what, like, the context. That's it.